Hello everybody, this is Mike Jr. II, and welcome to my Let's Play of Orcs Must Die 2. Now you guys might be thinking to yourself, Michael, this game came out like frickin' 9 years ago. You probably stopped, I think it was like 2014, maybe 2015, I ended my endless mode stuff. Why now, out of all places, are you finally playing this game, or at least like the regular story mode type stuff? And the reason why is because Orcs Must Die 3 is coming out, or at the very least, it's been out on Stadia for a year. I am not somebody who cares about Stadia, so I have not played it yet, but it is coming out soon on July 23rd for Steam. And there's also some free skins, and well, I say free skins, but if you pre-order the game, you can get yourself on 2 different skins for the 2 new characters of that game, and then also apparently there's a skin for the Blade Staff. So please go and buy it. It's not only on Steam, but it's also going to be on, I believe, PS4, PS5, and then also the 2 Xboxes, which is Xbox One, and there's another, is it Series X? I believe Series X is the name of the new Xbox console. Sorry, I don't pay attention to consoles anymore, to be 100%. I play PC exclusively now. PlayStation, I barely use my PlayStation 4, so I just don't fucking, I don't even touch it anymore. So, but anyway, because of that, I'm like, you know what, I want you guys to, at the very least, if you guys haven't played those previous games, please go buy Orcs Must Die 3. It's going to be a pretty cool game, and, I want to advertise it in a sense, so I figured I would finally go through the story mode so you guys can play through it as well. If you didn't know, I originally did a playthrough of the normal, not the hard mode, which is Nightmare. I did the Warmage. It's Warmage, correct? Yeah, Warmage difficulty. Basically, Apprentice, you only get 2 skulls. Warmage, you get 5, and then Nightmare is also 5. Oh, wait. You have to beat the original game before you get Nightmare. But yeah, still 5 skulls, but much more difficult. I've actually gone back and replayed the original Orcs Must Die 1 taking the same upgrades for the traps that I had originally, so I can go and redo my Let's Play of Orcs Must Die 1 and for Nightmare mode. Now, if you guys are curious, I had somebody who was a commenter who actually commented asking if I was going to do it, and I was like, no, Orcs Must Die 2 had some issues on my old PC, my not this PC, but my PC before this one, and I figured Orcs Must Die 1 would be the same, and, I'd have to go replay the whole game over again, so I probably won't do it. And then I decided to play all of Orcs Must Die 1. A lot of fun, honestly. I enjoyed playing through that game again. And I wanted to do this one, but I'm like, I might as well just play the fucking, I might as well just do a Let's Play of it, finally go through the story mode of the original game and whatnot. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. If you guys are curious, I do want to do Nightmare mode, but I'm very exhausted right now. I'm a day after the second dose of my vaccine, and it kicked my ass. I've been very tired. I slept a lot today. And right now I'm just like, you know what, I kind of want to play this game, and I figured it'll be easier to play this Warmage than to try to play Nightmare mode. Plus, as I've said, I want to give people the incentive to see the story in this and go, okay, now I'm going to go, this seems really interesting. If you haven't seen my videos beforehand, I'm going to go play Orcs Must Die 2 now. I'm sorry, I'm going to go play Orcs Must Die 3, or if you have it on Stadia, by the way, I have my bird with me right now, Cilantro. So if he makes a little bit of noises, I apologize. I'll try to cut it out if he gets a little loud, but it seems like he's just being a little cute. He's not getting screamy like he usually does. So it should be said, I want to bring this up right now, that if you guys, like I said, if you guys have Stadia, this game is, Orcs Must Die 3 has been out for like a year, and people are like, oh, fuck Robot Entertainment. How dare they take exclusivity deals for this kind of stuff? Because right away I know that's going to be the first thing. That was even my thought. But I did some reading right after I found out it was out, and I was like, oh, apparently Orcs Must Die 3 would not have been made without Google coming to Robot Entertainment and talking about some of their old franchises they thought about doing a sequel for. So Orcs Must Die 3 would not have been made, and then also Robot Entertainment was about to go under apparently. So Orcs Must Die 3, at least the money they got from Google to do Orcs Must Die 3, probably saved their fucking company. So it's like, honestly, I'm not going to be a fucking bitch fitty, I'm upset about the exclusivity deal type stuff. Feel free to be mad at Google. Don't be mad at the companies that need to take it, especially indie developers. So, please don't be mad at them. Be mad at fucking... Again, you can't even be mad at Google because they're the reason it's made in the first place. And at the very least, it's only a yearly exclusive. It could be much, much worse. And again, it's not like Stadia taking, what was it? I think it was the new Max Payne, I believe? I could be wrong, but I believe it was Max Payne 4. They basically got exclusivity that it still came out on PC, but it wasn't going to come out on consoles for a bit because they wanted it to be on Stadia. That's more annoying because the game was already out. It was going to come out at that point, but Orcs Must Die 3 would not be around without Stadia. So I just want to bring that out right away. I also want to say I have not played the game at all whatsoever. I've seen a few stuff online of it. I haven't seen a full map, but I've seen a little bit of it. It seems like a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be interested in getting back into it. I originally played Orcs Must Die 2 God, 9 years ago at this point. I'm pretty sure it came out late 2012, around this time actually. So I literally was about to start college, and it's crazy going back and kind of almost, I have a year left of university, coming back to this and getting to play it again. So yeah. But anyway, if you guys did know, I did play this game, but I only played the endless mode as Warmage. And to spice stuff up, I figured I'd actually choose Sorceress for my playthrough of just the regular game. Now, it should be said that, I just want to show this off real quick, you get to pick on your character screen who you want to pick when you want to play, but there are differences between the traps and weapons that you get depending on which character you pick. I believe it's 4 exactly. It's 2 weapons and then 2 traps for both the Warmage and the Sorceress. And again, you guys might be thinking, Sorceress, wasn't she the bad guy in the last game? Oh, we'll get into that. Yes, we will. I've had to redo this actually because the voices in this game are still pretty low, and there's no subtitles as well. So I'm going to try my best to actually rectify this from my original Let's Play because I have the software to do that now. So yeah, but no, we're going to play as Sorceress, and we're just going to get into it right now. We'll talk about some other stuff later, but I wanted to do that quick little opening just so I could be like, hey guys, go buy Orcs Must Die 3 when it comes out, or if it's on Stadia, go buy it now, even though Stadia's basically dead. If you guys see my endless mode, it's basically the same thing. As you can see though, Sorceress actually has a little bit of a difference. She has less HP but more mana. So that's kind of the trade. That's another trade-off for the characters besides the traps and stuff. But anyway, let's get into the first cutscene of the game.
Was this how it would end? Trapped, surrounded, my power lost. I deserved so much more. They were coming for me. Once I was their queen, now they would be my doom. Then, out of nowhere, new rift? It was different, fragile. I felt a trickle of power returning, barely there. Not enough to mind control even a single orc. Still, the rift offered an escape. As soon as I stepped through, I saw him, standing right in front of me with that ridiculous grin plastered across his face. I only had one thing to say. Run! Was it you?
Was what me?
The rift! Can't you feel the magic returning? Did you open it?
Nah, I'm more of a closer. Hey, aren't you that crazy lady that tried to kill me?
There's no time! The orcs are right behind me!
Orcs? Nice! Now you're talking my talkie language thing.
Alright, I gotta start off with a complaint right away. This game really makes the Warmage like a complete idiot, where in the last game he was just kind of an idiot. So yes, anyway, this is the first level in the game, and if you notice, again, the Sorceress, as you can see now, is a playable character, which is pretty cool. But the Sorceress is actually right now, we're in the real world. We're in like, this would be where you'd come through for the rifts, at least in the original game, that's how it would work out. So if the orcs got through the rift, they would be coming here. This is basically, in all intents and purposes, the real world. I don't know how you'd say it, but this is the world that that we were defending in the original game. So this is called the Dwarven Mine. Now, it should be said that there are some differences in this game compared to the last game, but one of the big ones is that in the Dwarven Mine, this is technically the Rift, but we do not get an HP gain from this, and in this game, there is no mana gain for playing it. So here's a weapon. This one doesn't take any... This is the Sorceress's main weapon. This does not take any mana, magic, but a right-click does. And as you can see, I'm not getting any mana from this, but I actually wouldn't get it even if I was in a regular Rift, which we will get those at the later point in the game. So if you're like, okay, well, if they're in here, they're already in the real world. Aren't they, you know, once they got in there, they were basically like, oh, well, you did a bad thing. You didn't protect them. Now they're in here killing people in this world or whatever. Well, since we're in the Dwarven Mines, actuality... this is them leaving the Dwarven Mines and getting into the real world, basically, quote unquote. I don't know why I'm saying the real world. I don't know how to word it a little bit better, but that's what that whole thing is about, just so you know. So anyway, as I said, there are some different traps that you get depending on which character you have. I will talk about that really quickly right here. At least the original 3, you have to pay for the, not quote unquote like DLC pay, but like pay with skulls to get the other one. But in terms for the Sorceress, you get your hands on the Scepter of Domination. Fast range attack can be charged, and the secondary, charm an enemy for a time. So basically, this is like the what would be the best way to put it? It's like the the spore mushroom. I was trying to remember the name for it. It's basically like the spore mushrooms, except for it's only for a limited time. We also have ourselves the ice vent, which, as you can see, it freezes enemies, and then we have the acid sprayer. Now, what would be the 3 exclusive ones that you would get for the Warmage? Now, number 1, it's actually not the crossbow. That's actually one that both the characters can get. The Warmage gets something called the blunderbuss, which is basically a shotgun on the left trigger, and then on the right trigger, it is a kind of shoots like a little grenade, basically a little magic grenade, which is pretty cool. And then these 2 are tar and then the arrow walls. So yes, tar and arrow walls, which were a staple trap in the last game, are now exclusive to the Warmage. That was a big issue of, like, when this game first came out, people were not happy about that who wanted to play as the Warmage, because trust me, tar is a very important thing. Tar slows multiple enemies. These ice vents are nice, but they're not constant. Like, tar is constant. You know, besides some DLC stuff later on, they don't get turned off, where these run out of turning off stuff. However, it should be said that later on, Sorceress got a much better advantage with the acid sprayer. So if you are part of high scores, you will play as the Sorceress. And you might be like, why would I play as the Sorceress? Well, apparently, this acid spray trap has a special effect you can add later on with some skulls, which has a slowdown effect. That slowdown effect is the only one in the game besides the, I don't know if you remember the alchemy sash where you throw the bombs and then it explodes. That is the only other thing in the game that gives that, like, acid slow. It's either acid or just, is it slow or damage, kind of like burn? I can't remember. We'll look at this a little bit closer after I finish this map. But yeah, so because of that, that means more combos, because the more added effects you have, that's bigger combos. So like doing like a burn from brimstone and a burn from a scorcher does not count as 2 different, you know, I think they count as 2 separate hits, but the burn effect will not count as like part of a combo. So let's say you had those 2 and then they die from a burn effect, that's 3, where if instead you had like an acid sprayer and then something like that, that would be 4. So you get more combos basically. So that is actually the big thing about the Sorceress in this game. So if you're looking for longevity on endless modes and even just trying to get 5 skulls in this game, I'd probably recommend Warmage. You know, maybe the regular game you could argue either or, but if you're looking for high scores, 100% you're looking at the Sorceress. So you're gonna have to get use of the other 2. I would also say the 4th weapon in the game is better for the 4th exclusive like trap in the game, which you have to pay for, is better for Sorceress than it is for the Warmage, but we'll talk about that in a second. Now, real quick, I just want to talk about DLC and how I'm going to treat that for this Let's Play. So, in the DLC for what came out, you can actually rearrange your stuff, which is very awesome. This is how it worked. Yes, I think I did it correct here. Okay, cool. So this is how it worked. In the DLC for Fire and Water, you got yourselves the Teleportation Ring, the Dart Spitter, and the Floor Portal. In the Family Ties, you would get yourself the Stone Staff, this fucking beauty, the Web Spinner, and the Jar of Ghosts, which is a trinket. We'll talk about this a little bit later. And then for the Are We There Yeti DLC, which was the last one, we got ourselves the Dwarven Missile Rocket Launcher, the Guardian Trinket, and the Spike Wall. So I just wanted to bring that up so you guys know what DLCs these come from. In my original Orcs Must Die playthrough, I decided to not use DLC for the most part, if I could show it off just as like an extra thing I did, but overall I wasn't like, oh, I'm not going to do it whatsoever, but I didn't focus on it either. I will not do that for this Let's Play. I figured since this game has been out forever, you should be able to pay for the DLC for all of it. I don't know how much it costs on Steam, especially since I'm pretty sure the Steam sale's still going on. You know, if you want to go buy the original Orcs Must Die and Orcs Must Die 2, which I do recommend. I had some issues on my original PC, and I haven't checked out Endless Mode on this, but my old PC had an issue, which it didn't... Not all of the models for the orcs would load, which was really weird and something I really fucking hated. So I haven't had an issue on this so far, so I think we're good to go. So, but I will use this DLC, especially, this will probably be the only one I'll use the Scepter of Domination for, maybe I'll use it for another one, but the Stone Staff is a mighty fucking weapon. This is my favorite one out of all of them. And not only that, this spike wall is a fucking, I don't want to call it broken, but it makes levels so much easier. So I kind of want to make these maps geared towards people who are just now playing the game. So anyway, I have talked about this enough. Let's get into, oh, no, not what I want to do. Let's get into this. Acid spray right there, definitely right there. I don't really have much to focus on. Actually, should I? We're gonna do this. Again, I don't have a lot to work with, so, and then I guess I'll just throw one. Actually, no. There we go.
Time to dance.
All right, so I got the voices up on this one so you guys can hear a little bit better, but the sound, everything else is gonna be a little bit lower because I don't necessarily care for it. But anyway, like I said, you
So
can
beautiful.
do like a fast hit on these, which they're probably it's probably helpful for combos. And then I know. No, damn it. Here. You can do that, and as you can see, it's technically not the same as the spore mushrooms, but as you can see, the confused ones attack the enemies, and then the other enemies. They basically fight for you for a little bit, and then if they die, everybody else gets stunned, which is pretty good. All right, these voices are now too loud. It's like they're too quiet, and now they're too loud. Ugh. I'll try to do what I can in editing, and then I'll fix out what I'm gonna do later. So anyway, yeah, Orcs Must Die 2. I love this game. This game's fantastic. This game's definitely more difficult than Orcs Must Die 1 because there's some things you could do in Orcs Must Die 1 to cheese the entirety of the game. You can't really do that in Orcs Must Die 2. Also, if they get a little bit further back, they can actually get hit by these minecarts over here. Apparently we're getting Minecraft involved here. And then you can hit that thing over there to change the direction, but you only really need to do that. It's already going this way. It won't go this way if you hit it to a different direction, FYI. So definitely keep that in mind so you don't accidentally, you know, you want the extra damage if they get around here.
I enjoyed that.
I love the way the sorceress is so like sadistic for the most part. Not super sadistic. You can definitely hear it worse, but like
Relentless, aren't they?
yeah, she definitely has this like she still has a mightier than thou attitude, but she's technically a good guy now. And what am I doing?
Step into my sprinklers, little orcs.
By the way, as I was replaying Orcs Must Die 1, it took me a second. Most of these voice actors are actually like big Funimation voice actors. So if you don't know the sorceress, I don't know the names of all the people. I do apologize. I'm not good with this kind of stuff. The sorceress is actually voiced by I think the best example would be Momo from My Hero Academia. Creati, I believe, is her superhero name. She's the one with the she's got the inner boob type thing, but it kind of makes sense because she creates stuff, but still a little bit sexualized for a child. And then the Warmage is actually voiced by the same dude who voices Stained of all people, which is absolutely hilarious. But you can kind of hear it. Not only that, some of the things you hear, like for the narrator stuff, is a combination of Chris Sabat, which is the voice of All Might, Vegeta, you know, Major Armstrong. And then I believe the archers are actually in some of the narration as well, is also voiced by, I could be wrong, but it's the same voice actor as Lynn. Yeah, by the way, there's nothing else to put wall traps on over here. It kind of sucks, actually. It's a pretty bad for last level. Or sorry, for a first level, there's not really a lot you can work with. But anyway, the same dude who voices Lynn, basically. Lynn, and I don't believe he's voiced anything. And actually, no, I think he voiced the... What is it? The fairy tale character look-alike dude from My Hero Academia for like one episode, and then apparently it's like a thing now for the show. I don't know. Look over there, kid. That was the name they used, or at least that's what they used in the dub not too long ago. I do watch My Hero Academia. I do enjoy that show. I know some people are little picky. You know, I don't pay attention to fan bases, FYI. I don't really care about the fan base. Oh, geez, they're actually getting pretty far on this one. They're actually getting pretty far ahead. I gotta give them credit. There we go. So yeah, this thing really isn't as good. Oh, please don't hit me. I want to get my extra skull if I can. You might be saying, extra skull, what are you talking about? Don't you only get 5 for each one? Oh, you guys, if you have not seen anything from the series, you do not know the half of it. Oh, missed that one. Thankfully, I got a lot more HP, so I can... Bam! There we go. And that is the Sorcerer's Special Dance if you get 5 skulls. Alrighty, then. So that is the edge. Here we got ourselves 5 skulls. And we get ourselves the spike trap, which I kind of like. Instead of showing us what trap we get at the beginning of the next one, they just show us at the end of this one. And we got 5 additional skulls for this. So it should be said that these 5 skulls you can only get once. 4 of these you get for the amount of rift points you have. So I'm pretty sure they're divided evenly. So if even one got in there, we'd only get 3 of these 4 skulls. And then if I believe 5 or 6 got through, it would have been 2 and then 1, etc., etc. And then we get 1 for the part-time, as you can see here. It was 5 minutes, and we hit it in about 4. So we did a good job there. And you get some extra skulls for, as you can see here, untouchable. And then, I don't know what perfect victory means. I'm sure there's a reason for that, but I have no idea what that means. Oh yeah, 100 career kills. So that's just a specific, you killed 100 orcs? Wait, did I kill 100 orcs today? Jeez, that's a lot already. So yep, and then we can press continue, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm actually going to go to the campaign main menu. Oh yeah, spend skulls in the spellbook to buy or upgrade traps and weapons. Earn new skulls by beating levels. Visit the spellbook when you want to improve your character. Yes, we can. So we'll actually do that, but I'll go back real quick. Wait, no, I wanted to go to the campaign menu. So yes, we have ourselves our spellbook here. Now this game does things completely differently from previous Orcs Must Die game. So as you could see beforehand, in the last game, you basically had a one-time upgrade you could do and you could not refund your skulls. In this game, you have yourselves a bunch of upgrades you can do for each trap. So Ice Vent over here. We can upgrade almost any, I believe it's every trap in the game at least 3 times. Ice Vents have their time reduced for each one, and then there's a unique purchase that you can have. You can only have one of these at a time. So right here for 5 skulls, we can do the Ice Vent Freeze Last Longer, which is a pretty good effect, or the enemies become chilled and move slowly for a time after the freeze effect. So basically it gives the chilled effect. And then for some, they also have a special. So for this one, the ice vent can also be placed on the ceiling. So if you want to put something else on the floor, but also have the freeze on top, you could do the special effect. And then also, some of these weapons you can just buy straight up at the beginning of the game if you get enough skulls. Now you might be thinking, don't you only get 5 skulls per level? Well, no. If I replayed that level, well, yes, I wouldn't get the initial 5 skulls. I would get at least 2 skulls if I didn't get touched. If you go manaless, I believe that's another 2 skulls. So yeah, it's a little bit difficult to grind at this point in the game, but once you get to the very first nightmare level, you can actually watch I have a video, I will actually link it, where you can easily grind at least 15 skulls per level. Or sorry, per time you do that level, which if you do it really quickly and you have fun and you do some combos as well, you can get yourselves a nice good... a good bit of skulls and stuff. But yep, so as you can see, some of these stuff we can get right away. We can get the Ring of Lightning if we wanted to. However, because this has this little lock, that means, yeah, there we go. Level upstairs, downstairs campaign story. Oh, is this the thing we have to do? Okay. So that one's the level we have to beat before we can get our hands on these ones. But if I wanted to, if I had enough skulls, I could buy the Lightning Ring. Same thing to go for the traps as well. And then we have trinkets, which are very different. Trinkets have basically as you can see, a passive and active effect. So if you have trinkets in your inventory, if they just stay in there, that's the passive effect. So you already get your hands on the Guardian Trinket, which is a very great one for the endless mode. Most of the last DLC was made for endless mode, but basically it will do an extra regeneration of your guardians, so like your archers and stuff, over time. And then if you use them, like you use a trap, sometimes they cost MP, sometimes they don't. It just kind of depends. It will bring them all back to life. However, they do have like a reset kind of time period. So after you use it, it takes a little bit of time before they use up again. Most of these end up being more useful in they're not as useful in the main game. They're more useful in endless mode and type stuff. But there's a lot of good stuff here, trust me. The Jar of Ghosts is also very nice. Basically, if enemies hit you, they freak out, and when they get feared, quote unquote, they go in the opposite direction of the wave system that they go around. So if they hit you, they're just going to go backwards. And then if you like go in the middle of your traps and use it, they're going to go backwards from where they came from for the wave point. So it makes it very useful if you know your enemy, if you know they're going to get further than a certain point and you need them to get through your traps again. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff here. Berserker Trinket deals bonus damage on low HP, and then if you activate it, you spend health to activate the Berserker effect. And then I love Scavenger Trinket's really good. Not really a big fan of the Rift Defender or the Healing Trinket. Mana Rage is very nice. Extra mana, and then when you use it, your mana regenerates very quickly. So probably not quote-unquote as useful for the Sorceress, but trust me, having a massive fucking HP bar, or MP bar is fantastic. And then we have costumes as well if you want to use them. This one was a free DLC one, and even though these, I believe everything else came with DLC. I could be wrong. I know these two came as part as you beat the levels, but everything else is DLC, but you still have to spend skulls on them, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. It doesn't honestly bother me. So, yep. But that's basically the way this game works now. It's a little bit different, and for some people it might be annoying because at least it took me a while to realize I could buy different things. Like, you know, if I wanted to do the crossbow from the original game, you have to buy it first, and then you still have to upgrade it. But I love the unique effects for some of this stuff. The Wind Belt, if you pick up enemies when thrown, they explode, which is awesome. Or you do kind of a vampire effect where you suck HP from them. That's pretty cool. Having these for the weapons right away is very nice. However, as a trade-off, we do not get the weavers in this game whatsoever. And not only that, besides the spike wall, nothing can push heavies. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we'll get the spring traps as part of a thing, but I'm curious. Here we go, spring traps. Sometimes flips heavier enemies. This only includes like certain smaller ones like the Fire Ogre and Ice Ogre does not count like the Armored Ogre and stuff, which sucks, and then the reduced faster kind of stuff. So that kind of sucks for stuff like that when you do want to get your hands on flipping enemies. So that was like a big thing. They basically did not allow you to cheese the game as much anymore, which does suck. But this game's still a lot of fun, and I really much enjoy it. So that's going to be the end of today's little episode. I'm going to go straight up and just do tunnels right away, because why the hell not? I will try to, in post, fix what I can for like the music and the voices being possibly too loud, but I'll do the best I can. I don't want to mess around too much. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. I will catch you guys next time. This is Mike Jr. II, signing out.